It's every passenger's worst nightmare. Germanwings 9525 is at 38,000 feet. A man with an axe is trying to break into the cockpit. He slams it hard into the door. Panic spreads through the cabin. The plane begins descending towards the mountains below, accelerating fast. The cockpit goes silent. Germanwings 9525 confirm altitude 38,000 feet. ATC tries calling them, but there's no response. There's no mayday. There are no threats. There are no demands. Alarms ring across Europe. Fighter jets are scrambled to intercept the plane. It continues its rapid descent towards the ground. They have less than 60 seconds left. Who is this man with the axe? Who is flying this plane? Will anyone make it out alive? This is the haunting true story of Germanwings Flight 9525. It's 9 a.m. March 24th, 2015. It's a usual Tuesday morning at Barcelona's El Prat airport. At gate 101, Germanwings Flight 9525 is ready for departure. This Airbus A320 has over 47,000 flights behind it. And today should be no different. 150 passengers board the plane. Among them are 16 high school students returning home after an exchange trip to Spain. One of them is 16-year-old Elena Bless. She sends a text message to her friend as she boards, saying she's on her way home. Inside the cockpit, the two pilots prepare for departure. Captain Patrick Sondenheimer, 34 years old, is at the controls. A father of two, he is calm and experienced. He has over 10 years of flying behind him. Sitting next to him is First Officer Andreas Lubitz. He is 27 and he has been with the airline for less than a year. The two pilots are performing final checks.
Weather looks clear all the way up. Routine flight. Yeah, should be smooth sailing.
Montabaur, Germany. A kid plays alone in his room. Posters of airplanes adorn the wall. He is not like the other kids. Flying isn't just a dream, it's an obsession. At 14, he takes his first glider flight. His instructor calls him a natural. He belongs to the skies. By the age of 20, he gets accepted into Lufthansa's Elite Flight Academy. His dreams of becoming a pilot are becoming real, and it is worth every sacrifice. But dreams don't always survive the turbulence. Back in Barcelona, it's exactly 9:01 a.m. The engines thunder to life. Flight 9525 lifts into the blue morning sky above the Mediterranean Sea. The water sparkles below. It's a picture-perfect departure. The plane climbs steadily, crossing into French airspace. Inside the cockpit, Lubitz's eyes stare at the altitude selector. It reads 37,000 feet. He stares at it for just a moment too long, and then he looks away outside the window. It's a beautiful day, but somewhere beneath this peaceful scene, something is already terribly wrong. Just months after joining Lufthansa's flight academy, First Officer Lubitz hit a wall. He was diagnosed with severe depression. His days were now filled with therapy sessions and medications. He felt like he wasn't in control of himself, and the dream he chased his whole life was slipping away. After a year of treatment, he was cleared to fly again, but with a warning that if his issues ever came back, he will be grounded forever. That was years ago. Today, Lubitz is in the cockpit. And this time, he is in control. Germanwings 9525 cruises high over southern France. In the cabin, food service has begun. Everything feels calm. In the cockpit, the captain leans back in his seat, tired. It has been a rushed morning. The inbound flight from Düsseldorf to Barcelona was delayed. There wasn't even time for the basics.
Wow, what a hectic morning. Didn't even get a chance to hit the restroom. Go ahead, Captain. We are settled now. I'll take it from here. Okay. Can you also review the approach charts and weather for Düsseldorf, please? Sure. We'll see. Hopefully.
The cockpit door closes behind the captain. In the restroom, as he tries to shake off his fatigue, something catches his attention. The engine's tone changes. The plane's nose tips forward. The aircraft begins to descend. At cruising altitude, that should never happen. Sensing trouble, he heads back to the cockpit. Unknown to him, hundreds of miles away, an alarm has already started to ring. At Masai Air Traffic Control, a red alert flashes on a controller's screen. An airplane that he's controlling is descending without clearance. 37,500, 36,500, 35,500. Planes at cruising altitude don't just drop. Not without permission, not without a reason. Inside the plane, Captain Patrick Sondenheimer stands at the cockpit door. He punches in the code to unlock it. Inside the cockpit, a bell should ring, alerting the co-pilot to open the door. He waits. Nothing. The captain frowns, confused. He punches in the code again, more firmly this time. Still, the door doesn't open. The altitude warning alarm kicks in, louder, sharper. Germanwings 9525, confirm altitude 38,000 feet. Silence. The captain knocks on the door. Andreas, open the door. At Masai ATC, there's no response either. Germanwings 9525, radar shows you in rapid descent, confirm altitude and intentions. The captain bangs on the door, harder now. His heart pounds. A terrible thought crosses his mind. Has the co-pilot become unconscious? Has something gone wrong in the cockpit? Back at Masai ATC, the controller switches to the emergency frequency. Nearby planes try sending messages as well. But still, no response. At a French Air Force base, sirens erupt. Two fighter pilots sprint to their jets. Engines ignite. The jets tear into the sky, racing towards the falling Airbus. No one knows why Flight 9525 is descending. No one knows who, if anyone, is still flying this plane. But long before 9525 ever took off, the seeds of disaster were already buried deep inside the cockpit. In 2010, Lubitz applied for advanced flight training in Lufthansa's training center in the United States. The FAA application asked a simple question: have you ever been treated for mental health issues? There was a checkbox near it. One box, one truth. His career hung on a single answer. He checked, no. He lied, and he proceeded with his training. But the fact remained that Lubitz still had serious health problems that could return at any time. And now, in the skies over France, something is terribly wrong. Germanwings 9525 is descending fast, and no one is answering the radio. The controllers on the ground don't know what's happening. The captain is locked out, and he's worried that the first officer is unconscious. Is there still time to save them? In aviation, systems are everything. Flight plans, checklists, redundancies. You don't leave anything to chance, because one missed detail can lead to disaster. And running a business is no different. That's why we've partnered with Odoo, the all-in-one business management platform that's designed to prevent the kind of chaos that happens when your systems don't speak to each other. Odoo brings everything you need into one streamlined cockpit: CRM, sales, inventory, finance, HR, even your website. No more bouncing between 12 different tools. So if you want to build an e-commerce store, Odoo has a sleek drag-and-drop e-commerce builder with hosting included. Want to manage your invoices? It's already integrated with Odoo e-commerce builder. You don't need duct tape workflows or spaghetti spreadsheets. Manage your team with projects, handle your prospects and clients through easy-to-manage CRM, and much, much more. Just like a pilot needs a reliable aircraft, your business needs a tool that's built to fly through turbulence. You can try Odoo's first app completely free right now. No credit card, no commitments. Just click the link in the description below. Thanks again to Odoo for supporting this episode and for helping businesses fly smarter. Germanwings 9525 is descending fast, and no one is answering the radio. The captain is locked out, and he's worried that the first officer is unconscious. In the event of pilot incapacitation, the crew can unlock the cockpit using an emergency code. The captain punches it in. The door should open automatically in 15 seconds. He waits. But instead... Oh no, this is bad. This is very, very bad. Because the emergency override code can only fail if someone inside the cockpit has manually locked the door. Andreas.
Wow, what a hectic morning. Didn't even get a chance to hit the restroom. Go ahead, Captain. We are settled now. I'll take it from here. Okay. Can you also review the approach charts and weather for Düsseldorf, please? Sure. We'll see. Hopefully.
Lubitz is now alone, exactly where he wants to be. He reaches for the door lock switch, and he flips it from normal to lock. And from this moment on, no one can enter the cockpit. Not with the passcode, not even with the emergency override code. After 9/11, reinforced cockpit doors were designed to keep hijackers out. But today, those same doors are keeping this hijacker in. Lubitz leans forward, eyes cold, focused. He reaches for the altitude selector and turns it all the way down to 100 feet. The autopilot obeys instantly. The engines ease back. The A320 begins its fall towards the mountains below. In the restroom, the captain notices the pitch change. In 2013, Lubitz joined Germanwings, Lufthansa's low-cost airline. But within a year, his mental health started slipping again. He started seeing flashes, halos, and floaters in his eyes, strange patterns that made him fear he was going blind. He saw over 40 doctors, neurologists, ophthalmologists, psychiatrists. No one could find a physical cause. They told him that the problem wasn't in his eyes, it was in his mind. He was diagnosed with hypochondria and signs of psychosis. The doctors issued him multiple sick notes, and one even recommended hospitalization. But if Germanwings knew, he'd be grounded. If he couldn't fly, he wouldn't be able to repay his student loans. So, he ignored the sick notes and he kept flying anyway. And now, he's in the cockpit, alone, and there's no one left to stop him. Captain Sondenheimer slams his fist against the cockpit door. Nothing. He kicks it hard, again and again. Still nothing. Lubitz watches the surveillance monitor. The captain is outside, pleading. But he doesn't flinch. He pushes the plane down further. The engines throttle forward. The plane picks up speed. And then, suddenly, alarms explode. Terrain, terrain, pull up. Lubitz stays silent. Andreas, open the fucking door. Seeing the captain locked out of the cockpit sends panic through the cabin. Sondenheimer's eyes dart, desperate, until he spots it. He finds an axe in the emergency cabinet. He grabs it. Swings. Metal slams into metal. Again and again. His hands blister. His muscles burn. But the door does not give. Lubitz adjusts the autopilot speed to 350 knots. The plane begins accelerating further. Through the windows, the French mountains are becoming bigger. Close. Too close. He swings harder, screaming now, voice cracking. Andreas, please! But the plane keeps falling. The mountains are almost here. In Marseille, controllers watch helplessly as the numbers keep dropping. The plane is now well below 10,000 feet. It has been only 10 minutes since all this started. And then, at 9:40 a.m., one final number flashes on the screen. 6,200 feet. "4 days before the crash, Lubitz sat alone in his room, staring at his computer screen. Manuals open, videos playing. He was studying the cockpit door locking system of the Airbus A320. Every override, every fail-safe, every sequence, he memorized them all. In the rubbish bin, investigators would later find a torn-up doctor's note excusing him from flying on the very day of the crash. He knew exactly what he was doing. On the morning of the flight, on the outbound leg from Dusseldorf to Barcelona, Lubitz tested what he had learned. When Captain Sondenheimer stepped out of the cockpit, Lubitz reached forward and changed the altitude selection. First down to 100 feet, then up to 49,000 feet, and then back to 37,000 feet. The autopilot didn't respond. The plane was configured in a different mode at that time. But that wasn't the point. Because this was just a rehearsal. A rehearsal for the show later. On the flight back to Dusseldorf, the rehearsal was over. Now came the real thing. The mountains are silent. Only wreckage remains. French Air Force jets arrive minutes later, but it's already too late. The aircraft has shattered on impact. Fragments are scattered across the Alps. Rescue crews find the cockpit voice recorder and the flight data recorder. It's burned and battered, but still intact. When technicians press play on the recording, they aren't prepared for what they hear. No mayday, no final words. Just the sound of one man breathing. And then silence. This wasn't a system failure. It was a human one. Lubitz's internal battle claimed not only his own life, but the lives of 149 innocent people. 16 students, 2 teachers, newlyweds, retirees, opera singers. A world of lives gone in minutes. In the aftermath, airlines around the world introduced mandatory 2-person cockpit rules and began tightening mental health screenings. I wish I could say that was the end of such tragedies. But then came Pakistan A303 and Air India Express 1344. Each a stark reminder. Aviation is safer than ever, but still extremely fragile. Unfortunately, in the years since, many airlines have quietly rolled back the 2-person cockpit rule. The stigma around emotional struggles still remain. And somewhere, another pilot is struggling in silence.